everybody? This is Charles Pablo again, coming at you with another exciting chapter of the Library of Alexandria. This one's actually going to be about being yourself. So when it comes to this, the first technique that I have is you want to go somewhere, you want to go calm, you crystals, ambience, anywhere that you basically want to sit, just make it nice, peaceful. Then you want to sit down, and as you're sitting, you want to practice any breath techniques that you have. Like some for me is like breathe in for 4 seconds, breathe out hold your breath for 2 seconds, then breathe out your nose for 6 seconds. Do that for 5 minutes, and then do each nostril, go back and forth 5 seconds in one nostril, hold 5 seconds, release out the other nostril for 5 seconds. Breathe in that nostril, hold. You know, breathe out the other nostril, and just keep doing it. Going back and forth, and then opening my eyes and staring, because I always feel like because your eyes they control about 90% of your like manifestations. So it's a good way. If you're closing your eyes and you're opening, you're able to see. It's able to help block out all the negativity and all that. So basically, you could reach a peace of mind. You could sit down, do a meditation, do whatever you want to do. And then once you've done all these things, the second thing that you want to do is you want to start to address your protection or your hunting energy. This one, for me, this energy came and presented itself as Ochosi, so that's what I call it. And this energy, basically, what you want to do with this is you want to think about all the things that can protect you. Like for me, it's the universe, God, the ancestors, basically all the energies around, pretty much everything all working together. That's what I believe, is protecting me. You know what I mean? And I know that you can create, as your mind. So that's what I feel. That's why I want to express love, in that way. Because I feel like, I'm always protected regardless of the situation, even through death. So then, once I realize I have my protection, whatever your protection may be, you have that down, then you want to actually go ahead, okay, now let's talk about fear. What kind of fears did you have? And one of my greatest fears, I remember ever since I was a little kid, was once I really started to think about it, was the fear of really being alone, because I didn't want to be alone, because I love, people, I want to be around people, all that other type of stuff. So it was like the fear of being alone was like one of my greatest fears. And how I really overcame that was I was brave, and I was thinking, regardless of the situation, I know that if I am who I am and do what I do, then I'll get what I want, you know what I mean? And just detach from outcome, you know what I mean? And have, like we were talking, trust in the ancestors and God and the world, to help me out with that, and just, let it go. And whatever the outcome is, if it seems good or negative at the time, I know that it will be for the greater of my good, just detach from it and go off. And then the third step you want to do is for, I think, like this one's actually like your chakra, your pleasure center. I like to call this one your Maya. The first one, fear, is Shango, and then the one before that, Ochosi. So this one right here is, your Maya, the pleasure center. And this one's just really, those are just names that they gave me, but the energies that they are basically, protection. And then the next one, fear. This one, love, and forgiveness. And so when it comes to this, I always think about, what did you blame yourself for? And I always used to blame myself for just, sometimes I used to love too hard, type of thing. Just, and I would, just because I wanted love so much. And like I said, one of my greatest fears was to be alone. I would always, attach to that situation, and always, regardless of what it is, and believe, because that's what I do. That's who I am. I believe, so it just kind of messed everything up with that. And how I really overcame that was just forgive myself. Was, I'm going to make mistakes. I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? But as long as I can gain and learn from these situations and understand, okay, this happened. So then now you can set boundaries, self-love, you know what I mean? All the rest of these other type of things start coming involved more once you start to, open up that chakra and start to, forgive yourself more. Have forgiveness, kind of address yourself, with your faults, as, you forgive yourself for doing these. You know what I mean? So that's what I did to overcome that. And then the next one is like the center chakra. This one's knowing. I like to call this one like Oshun. That's the energy that it came when it actually came to me, and I was able to like actually see the energy and feel it. It's like the energy of knowing. And I always think of this one. This one is like, what are you ashamed of? And I always like to think ashamed of all the stuff that I was just previously talking about. Ashamed of loving too hard. Ashamed of, being the person that of not a truth, because that's what I am. I'm truth. I'm light. I'm love. And just ashamed of all that. But I know who I am, and know that those certain things happen so that I can know exactly who I am. That I am light. That I am love. You know what I mean? That I am truth. Type things. So that was like, the cool thing that I used to overcome that from being ashamed, is just knowing directly who I am. In a way. And the next step after that is like, I like to think of this one like your heart chakra, which is like Ogun, or your strategy, the energy of strategy. And this one, when I talk about with loss, I just think about all the loves that I've lost, all the things in life, all the ventures. Pretty much there's so many things, from not being able to play football to a whole bunch of, a certain girl I just lost, type thing, all the way, in between and step all those losses. But what I've gained actually out of these things to actually overcome it is that I've gained knowledge, I've gained power, I've gained justice, you know what I mean? I've gained, so many other things. And I know that because, with loss, I've also gained a lot more, the better things that are in store. And I know that they're there because I, have protection in the beginning, so, and then, so then once, so that's how I really overcame the whole things about, loss, because I know that how loss is and how the law is. Sometimes you got to lose things ordinary to gain things, and it's all about strategy and divine timing, you know what I mean? So that's how I kind of like overcame it. My loss was to know that no matter what, even though you lose something, you gain something, whether it be knowledge, whether it be, actually something better, in store. Who knows, You just gotta, be brave, let go, and you just, let it happen. So then after you're done actually, with that one, then I go up to the throat chakra, and this one I like to call it's like Obatala, which for me is like truth. That's the energy of truth. That's the way it was talking about. And like certain things that I use, I remember certain lies I used to tell myself was saying I know the future, because I used to always just do all this and be so magical. And you can't really predict the future because it's free will. You know what I mean? You can only manifest the future and then have faith for it to exist. You know what I mean? Because that's the only true way for you to actually, quote unquote, predict the future. It's all about energies and flows, and you know what I mean, everything else that goes with that. So the truth of it, I guess you could say, that I learned is that I don't know the future. You know what I mean? And I don't know what's going to happen in the next second. But I do know that I have protection, I have love, I have power. You know what I mean? And now I also have truth. You know, and I have strategy. So then now after that technique, the next step I actually want to go to is for your third eye chakra, and this one I like to call it Romula, or wisdom. And this one actually, it's about illusions. So when I think about the illusions, would be any illusions that I created in my life. You know what I mean? Like an illusion of me being something that I'm not. You know what I mean? Like the illusion when I was a kid, thinking I was going to be a football player. The illusion of not wanting to be the light. And not wanting to give love, because this is what I am. All those are certain illusions that I've noticed, and I've overcame them because I realized, that it's really about the ways, and it's like wisdom. you know and the only way you can really gain true wisdom is throughout living it. You know what I mean? You can actually gain knowledge, but unless you have the experience, you know what I mean, you don't really necessarily have wisdom yet. So through the experiences of going through all these things and learning that these were illusions, I gained wisdom. You know what I mean? So, you could sit there, think of that, do all these things for yourself and think, oh yeah, 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 yeah. So then the next thing you want to do after that is attachments. And this one is actually Oya for me. This is the attachment energy. And for me, it's like the energy in between life and death. You know what I mean? And to really, for me, what I was attached to was attached to love, attached to a certain girl. I was attached to, there was a lot of things that I was just simply just attached to, so the thing that I do really to let go is that I realize, through all these things and everything that I've gone through, you know what I mean, to release some of the truths, the strategy after I've gone through this whole system, I realized that all my attachments were just things that I was really just holding on to because I didn't either have faith in me or faith in the universe. You know what I mean? So once I realized that, like if I have faith in at least one of those two, or even both of them, it's even more strong. You know what I mean? Faith in your friend. You know what I mean? Because that's in a way to me would be like the universe or God. You know what I mean? Faith in this camera that I'm speaking to, so that I can get the message out to you guys. Faith in the trees, so that I can breathe. All these other type of things, like it's all one, it's all equal. You know what I mean? Have faith in it all, let go of it, so that the oneness. You know what I mean? Once you understand that, all the rest of the attachments you realize are just things that you're creating. You know, you want to create things definitely, but you don't want to be attached, because then it doesn't allow the energy to flow. So then you won't be able to receive it. So then after that is the next chakra that I like to think about. This is like your ancestral chakra. On top of that one, and this one is like all the ancestors. Like sometimes if you channel and talk to the dead and do all that other type of stuff, or even people that are alive too. That's the other side of it, because it's always 50-50 between them, all these energies. So when you're on the other side that we're not more calm about, that's all that other type of stuff. But this one, I always think about this, just let you know the whole big picture and the karma of it. The karmic, what did you get out of this? And I got that I am truth, love, and light, and I came here to show people exactly what they want, to the truth. You know what I mean? To express a way of learning and doing things so that we can be free. You know what I mean? And free indeed. you know. So that's kind of one thing that I learned. So I just want to come here, talk about being yourself. As I talk about expressing myself, you can use these techniques. You can do it any day, anytime you lose it. I mean, I do it all the time, you know what I mean? Sometimes every day, so just come back here, if you like it, like and subscribe. If not, then I hope you at least get some type of lesson out of this, so that we can understand that we are greater, and that you don't have to be someone that you don't want to be, at the end of the day. So I will just go ahead. I'm gonna do this. I always end everything with a clap, because it ends the energy and it ends the everything. So see you guys. Love you.